Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty, and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of Business Ethics. Students, in the last class, we started corporate stakeholders and stakeholder management approach. In the last lecture, already we have explained that what is stakeholder or stakeholders. The people, the entities, the groups or the organizations having stake with the organization is simply known as your stakeholders. Then we discuss the two types of stakeholders, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. As I told you, the people having stake and they are linked to the organization internally is known as your internal stakeholders, like employees, like shareholders. While the entities having claim over the organization but a bit vague and they are not directly connected with the organization or they are not employed by the organizations are simply known as your external stakeholder. Then we discussed a bit about that stakeholder management approach. It simply means that how to protect the right of your stakeholders or the methodology or the approach through which the corporate or management protect the rights of an entity or stakeholder. This method is simply known as your stakeholder management approach. Then students, we discuss that how corporate or how the corporate having responsibilities toward external stakeholder. Now today we are going to discuss some more about stakeholder. Now let's start with the heading that external stakeholders and corporate responsibilities. It simply means that how companies they have the responsibilities toward external stakeholders, or simply stated we can say how the corporate companies they can make satisfy or keep happy their external stakeholders. Under external stakeholders, number one stakeholder, that is the customer or the consumer. Up toward the customer or consumers, what are the different responsibilities of a corporate, or how corporate can keep happy their customers and consumers? Number one, that is to provide safe and reliable product and services. Simply stated, the corporation will try their level best to provide a safe and reliable product or services to their customers, through which the corporation gain customer loyalty. Look at here. Here we have two terms. One is the safe and one is the reliable. Safe means when company provide the safe product to the customer. What do you mean by safe? Safe product संग it means such type of product which is safe in nature. It means your that's product which is reliable in nature. Suppose what do you mean by reliable? What is reliable? Well, we have two concepts. One is valid and one is reliable. Valid means sahi and reliable mean, for example, trustable. Is it? Valid which contains validity, reliable which contains reliability. Like I suppose Zawayama, I want to measure the weight of an individual. Up to measuring the weight of an individual, what will be the exact machine through which I can measure the weight of an individual? Definitely you people will say to me that sir, weighing machine वजन कांटाचे कम बढ़ता वायु सही हुआ. That is a sahi machine to measure the weight of a person. So means that instrument, that tool, that machine to measure the weight of an individual, that is a sahi, a valid and exact machine to measure the weight of an individual. How consistently this machine will give us clear the results? Like for example, if I measured an individual, initially it gives me 80 kg. Again after an hour or 2 hours, again I checked, let's suppose the weight of an individual, again it gives me the 80 kg. and then third time it gives me the 82 kg, and then again it gives me the 80 kg. Every time there is a consistency, there is a reliability in the results of a machine. So then we can say that it is a reliable machine. So here it simply means that organizations, the companies, they must provide the safe and reliable, consistent product, clear, and services to the customers. Like take the example of iPhone. Why people, Samsung, it's also a brand. iPhone, it's also a brand. Samsung, that is iPhone चे competitor दे, is it? मुकाबल के. लेकिन still people clear they have a more reliable on iPhone products. What is the reason? Why iPhone clear, or why people having more reliability on the product of the iPhone? The reason is that iPhone clear that is more secure, that is more reliable from the data point of view. iPhone security system that is more accurate, more reliable as compared to Samsung. Therefore, people trust more on the iPhone product, and that is a reliable product. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. So when a corporate producing the services and producing the product, so in their services and product there must be contained clear the safe and reliability content. So when customers they are treated with the safe and reliable product, definitely you can gain their loyalty. So that is the first concern, that corporate they can keep their customers happy by providing them safe and reliable products. Hope लगा idea बतासो clear شوي همي. تاسو نور example هم خاصه شي. دا خو صرف ما یو example تاسو لدر کړه صرف تاسو idea به clear شي. Next, under that we have the honest information. What is honest information? The corporation will always try to provide honest and fair information regarding to their product or services that they are offering to their customers. Means those features that present in your product or services, it should be clear enough to your customer. What does it mean? It simply means that when corporation they are dealing with their customers, so they must provide the honest piece of information to the customer. A honest piece of information, simply here we are talking about the feature of the product. Whatever the features, whatever the traits, whatever the qualities, is it characteristics possessed by the product, must clear present these products in a reliable form clear to your customers. I would like to give an example. मैं बताऊँ idea इंशाल्लाह मुकम्मल clear की. चिगोरे. Suppose जमा product दे. Let's suppose your pen दे. Say sure. I have a company, and the company product is pen. अब now that is my claim. जमा pen चिकम दे. Say sure. दाब तकरीबन चिदे यो म्यास शली. My pen, my product, the company's product, that will standing last up to 1 month. अब that is my claim. मतलब you can use my pen up to 1 month. 1 month of it, definitely it will work. सही हुआ? लेकिन what happened? Within 3 days pen चिकम दे आगा ख़त्म शी. या within 1 week pen चिकम दे ख़त्म शी. अब it means whatever the feature I was presenting, that it will last up to 1 month, for it will work clear up to 30 days. अब that was the real characteristic of my pen. Like what I'm doing, I'm not presenting my real characteristics clear to, for example, I'm not providing the honest piece of information to the customer. रोज़ा क्या हुआ? चिकम हम quality, for example, कम हम characteristic स्टा तो product किश्तरे, so corporations, companies, they must provide clear the honest piece of information to the customer. Thousands of examples नोरम की देशी, ऐशुला सिर्फ simple examples मैंने आपको सीधी just to make your idea clear. दिन अलावा नोट services के हम तासो example खास देशी, like for example, your organization दे, सहीशा, आगा your company दा, आगा वही for example, ची guarantee or warranty ची कला हम उशी, सहीशा your product, नो दा कम ची return, let's suppose service दे, return ची कम offer दे, वापस तासो return कवले शी, if a guarantee warranty complete वाला, सहीशा नमुंगो दे repairing वाला को. अब गुरा, that is the piece of information that how you have to return your product. Actually, return product de para you must have a proper clear format. You must have a proper documentation. लेकिन organization से कई company से कई शुरू की वही चिमुंग को return करूँ लेकिन बात क्या piece of information चिकम दे आगा hide की from the customer. Again, that is not clear the honest information sharing process with the customers. Hope inshallah lag idea bata so clear shawi hum bhi. Simple de, थोड़ा technical ना दे, आसान दे. Next to the customer, fair treatment. And what it says fair treatment. The corporations, companies will try to treat their customers on fair basis, not charge high profit that their customers can not afford their product. It simply means that corporations must charge the fair treatment, or simply they must charge the fair, let's suppose, prices from the customer. Whatever the actual price should be, they must earn the profit, but the legitimate profit. मतलब simply your product there, आगे price चिकम दे, let's suppose such a selling price चिकम दे, अगर 10 rupees दे, no by जो organization सूरा हम फल profit for example ताकि देखो लग मतलब पर 12 मने खर्च सही, पर 13 मने खर्च सही, if they want to sell this product on the 15th, so they must target their own profit, and then upon that profit they have to sell the product. It shouldn't be that the real price of the product is 10 or 12 rupees and they are, let's suppose, selling the product in the market on the 15 rupees or 100 rupees. That is extra charging. That is not fair treatment. Then ilawa, we have some more concept, like for example the hoarding concept. The hoarding concept also auridali sayshwa zakhira andozi chivartawai sayshwa. Ab hoarding concept, what is hoarding concept? Hoarding means zakhira andozi. If you have now, what is hoarding? Hoarding, hoarding simply means that to accumulate clear the substances. When there is an artificial, let's suppose, shortage in the market about the products, clear, or the substances. Sometimes that's only अक्सर दा कम जो organizations सही हुआ दा market के खपला shortage पैदा की. और बिया customers चिकम दे आगा definitely सही हुआ customer will demand about the product, is it? So when the supply is not into the market and the demand is available in the market, so definitely then they increases the prices. Like अक्सर तासो गुरी कने चीनी सही हुआ बुरा चिकम दा और अर्थ चिकम दे ओडो चिकम दे सही हुआ फ्लोर अक्सर तो की अक्सर दे दे shortage create की market के ब्याच market के नहीं because these are the demanded product ब्याच दे दे prices चिकम दे आगा high खर्ची सही हुआ. No, that is known as hoarding. It means that hoarding the haram दे, it is illegitimate, clear, in Islam. That is not a fair treatment. That your fair treatment nashtre. I would like to give you an imaginary example. It will make your idea clear. We have a pill by the name of Omnidol. That is a painkiller. Headache de para de like a disprin de kana. Same. We have an Omnidol as well. Suppose Omnidol company se kai Omnidol company da shuru ki chakala rahuwa tha. So it had a claim. So we are 10 times, let's suppose, more stronger as compared to other companies. मतलब कि जमुन के कम Omnidol pill दे सही दा अर्जानम दे और दा नूरो नदियात strongum दा. What happened when people use the Omnidol and really it was very much effective. So people demanded the product because clear that was a cheaper product. That is सस्ता. The less रुपए तकरीबन से less गोले वे around about. What happened when the product demanded clear in the market? Company सोकरला company supply chikamda sexual they become short clear they become short the supply in the market and demand was in the peak demand sexual peak manishwala. What happened again dobara the hoarding concept ago te pata wa now people demanded the product Omnidol, so they increase the price of the product us the less goli chikam de da 20 per 30 money kharchegi again sexual that is hoarding. So it means that is not fair treatment. So therefore it simply says, so whenever organizations, corporations, we treat the customers, they must do a fair treatment with the customer. Next we have protection of products and services from harms. What it says, the corporation need to disclose all side effect of their product to their customers. Like on some product it is mentioned from the company side that keep away from the hand of children, mean children are not allowed to use the product. Simply, a concept is very easy. It simply says that how your product chikam de it has a side effects as well. So now must share side effect with the customers. Like I would like to give an example. Your anti-allergic example there come aksar the people who are sedative or who are let's suppose sensitive with the allergy, is it hasasiyat chillari अब गोरा if you have noticed allergy च कम हम पिल तासुरा वाली कम हम गुले तासुरा वाली whatever the tablet for example you have seen relevant to allergy mostly you have seen चाहे मने लिकल शवी to use a single anti-allergic within a day use a single pill within a day मतलब रोज़े के सिर्फ यौ गोले च कम दे दा तासु इस्तेफादा कवले शी if you are using twice within a day तासु for example दो इस्तेमाल हुई so might be it will bring scabies or for example or rashes clear on your skin किदेशी दा तासु पर skin माने दाने सही या किदेशी खारश च कम दे दा create की अब what does it mean it means that the organization is basically informing to the customers about the side effect of the product so whatever the product clear has a side effect it must share with the customer there are so many other examples as well so zaka that way there must be a protection of products and services clear from the harms hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear now the next stakeholder is the supplier and is the distributor अब go very clear fairness truthfulness in all transaction and contracts the relationship with supplier and distributors will be on fair basis and truthful means all the business transactions with supplier and distributor should be clear enough मतलब चिकला हम supplier सरा या distributor सरा organizations company individual they make some contract they make some dealings is it for example they have some consignments अब हर यो consignment चदे it must clear based on the paperwork मतलब पा verbal माने खबरी होनी शी تشولا proper documentation وشي چې کومه وعده کومه promises یو بل سره دوړو کړی دي company with supplier and distributor supplier with the company تشوا each and everything must be clear on the written form each and everything must be clear with according to the contract second thing ورا اوس اکثر داسي چې دا پیمنٹ چې کوم میثड دی د کې اکثر چې د disputes رسی for example mostly تشولا in the method of the payments تشوا consignment payments I'm talking about so like for example if I order some consignment so definitely I have to let's say upon the delivery I have to pay the pay coma no the payment ki come the promises the rashi conflict that rashi suppose today the dollar price is let's suppose 166 पाकिस्तानी रुपीस की खबर रखूँ 166 या 67 अब कंसाइनमेंट चे रसी कंसाइनमेंट चे कम दे अब हमारा फॉर एग्जांपल 10 days बस रसी अब नाउ आई हैव टू मेक इट क्लियर दैट अपॉन द डेट ऑफ आवर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्लियर विद दैट वैल्यू ऑफ द डॉलर आई हैव टू पे यू दैट्स ना चे फॉर एग्जांपल 10 days ना बस चे कम दे डॉलर चे दे आगा दोबारा खतल है so it doesn't mean then I have to pay clear according to the for example the upcoming let's suppose the advance the worth of the dollar no not at all देखो ना 10 days पहले चे डॉलर माने मतलब कम एवरेज माने on the date of our contract सही हुआ it can be mutual it can be written to come on there so the values are fixed so then I have to pay according to that value so that way so each and every transaction सही हुआ they must be contained on the fair treatment then we have the mutual respect the total common होने खबर है the relationship among corporation supplier distributors should be based on mutual respect these three parties will take care of their general interest that no one affect one another mutual respect pakar de then honest information sharing अब sharing of information among the corporations suppliers and distributor will be honest and then timely payment simply the way to on time payment چې په کوم ډیټ باندې ما وعده کړی دا organization وعده کړی دا کسٹمر لا سپلایر ته صحیح نو هغه ډیټ باندې هغه ته ټایملی پیمنٹ وشي so the corporation will try pay the debts قرضې of their suppliers and distributors on time that they didn't found any difficulty during the collection time to maintain long term relationship hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear देखिए دا सब मतलब دا से شيء نشته چې تاسو next our stakeholder that is environment if you focus student what environment is not an individual is it that is basically a circumstance but that is possessed in our for example environment especially in our external environment look us was like further explanation when we explain or when we deliver the lecture mostly about the businesses mostly about the companies so we mostly explain the positive impact of the companies on the society we never explain clear the dark side of the company or the corporations clear to the students matlab gora like for example when I say that I have a coin so coin has two sides one is head and tail is it same is the case clear that when we are talking about the companies when we are talking about the corporations So corporation has also two sides. One is the positive side, is it the good image of the organization, and one is the negative side, is it the bad image of the organization. We mostly discuss the positive image of the organization with the students, but we never explain clear the negative, the dark side clear of the organization to the student. The dark side doesn't mean dark side sexual, that is the negative dark side. Dark side simply mean that if you remember the Friedman concept theory sawa, the organization must be in the market because they have to fulfill the need of the desired state or people or society. मतलब organization बोले market के लिए जब organization से कम दे दब खल state sexual needs पूरा कई. लेकिन on the other hand organization will also चकला the need पूरा कई, so organization will also pollute the environment as well, is it? So that is the responsibility of the organization, that the company must protect clear the environment of the state as well. मतलब che on the one side company is responsible to fulfill the needs of the customer state, but on the other hand organization will not allow clear to pollute the environment as well. It means it is the basic responsibility of the organization company that they must have to protect the environmental right, simply stated. उस environment protection के number A, protect and respect, that this is the study or it is the duty and responsibility of corporation that they will protect and respect the environment, means their activities will not disturb the environment. If you remember, what last time complete pade mane 3 lecture ilardi, and the content was CSR, corporate social responsibility. Also here the corporate social responsibility, and when we discuss the corporate responsiveness. And what is corporate responsiveness? Well, first I explain corporate responsive matlab da de the organization is responsible to do clear a good action for the betterment of society. मतलब suppose your car चकम दे अगर pop up show सही हुआ. अब let's suppose organization चले या company चकम दे अगर डेर दिया था गंदगी कही. अब one time अगर गंदगी सही हुआ सफा करला. Once let's suppose that they have clear all the heap and damage clear, or all the, for example, the surah hum deran वगैरह दी सही हुआ from the street. It means that organization is responsiveness, social responsiveness. Lekin when organization completely consistently make clear this cleanliness its duty, now it becomes that is clear a corporate social responsibility. No, corporate social responsibility, for example, your organization, the social responsiveness the nature for the long time period. Simply that is known as your corporate social responsibility. Now, us corporate social responsibility, that is an action of the organization that where all the company's actions, they are basically for the betterment of the society. Now, the corporate social responsibility ke we have discussed that to protect, clear and respect the environment. Simply mean whatever the law, environmental law based by the government, so organization must has to follow. Like suppose, I would like to give an example just to make your idea clear. Let's suppose zama your company da usse cement judo ma, is it? अब organization चिकम दे आगे production दे पारा सही आगे माला जो इजाज़ा रहा करेगा. Suppose general example सही जो hypothetical example जुड़ो मा. अब इजाज़ा से दा जो within a day सही जब 2000 बोरे जुड़ो मा सही 2000 bags of cement. अब बोरा within a day. Up 2000 within a day, that is prescribed by the government, that is authorized by the government. It means up to 2000 the environment I am not able to pollute the environment up to that extent. When I will exceed, let's suppose clear the production 2000 within a day, so then I will harm the environment. So therefore it means that whatever clear the laws, whatever the rules, regulations, prescriptions are described by the government, so the organization, corporation must has to follow clear those laws. So that way the organization must protect and respect the environmental law. Then we have improve and sustain. Improve mean बेहतरी होगी and sustain mean maintain की. The corporation will try their best to improve and sustain the environment for long time period. Means their activities should be fruitful for the external environment. Through they can maintain long-term relationship with external environment. What how improvement translation or how improvement chikam de aga sustain ki deshi. Ab suppose bore that come for example mostly aga organization that they are using the polythene bags. Is it polythene bags hota suda pata da what is polythene bags? Polythene matlab the plastic chikam shapar khaltili. Is it deta mungawi polythene bag. If you notice polythene bags actually that contains on some chemicals. When they will get clear a bit heat up is it, they definitely contain on the bacteria چې څنګه دغه هیټ اپ شي د خلطې لږونه حرارت والی ګرم شي صحیح شوه مطلب ګرم پکې یو شی کېده وایي نو دې باندې بکټیریا چې کوم دی هغه اټیک کي اب واټ هیپن ټو پروټیکټ د انوایرمنٹ صحیح شوه تقریبا 1990s کې صحیح شوه بنگلادیش چې کوم حکومت و د ګورنمنٹ اف د بنگلادیش دے ټوټلی بینډ کلیر آن د پالیتھین بیگز هغه وایي چې کنټری کې به پالیتھین بیگز نه څوک استفاده نه کوي just to protect the environment is it then they introduce the jute bags د کپڑے والا چې کوم بیگونه دي صحیح شوه د غټه چې کوم کاغذ دی د موټا these bags are simply known as the jute bags صحیح شوه اب بوجې غونې چې کوم وي زړو خلکو سره به چې کوم وه and then they introduce صحیح شوه they banned the polythene bags and they introduced صحیح شوه the jute bags that was to improve and to sustain the environment then علاوه thousands of examples دي like take the example of McDonald's کې ګوره میکډونلډ والا چې کوم دی صحیح شوه هغوی خپل د ارګنایزیشن کې سوري هغوی د خپل ریسټورنټس کې صحیح شوه دغه لګولی دي دننه بوټي لګولی دي is it to maintain and sustain the environment تاکي کاربن ډای اکساید چې کوم هم کسٹمر راځي کاربن ډای اکساید ریلیز کوي it should be observed by the trees is it and the environment must be clean صحیح شوه پاکي no it means these are the different strategies to improve and sustain your environment hope inshallah idea will be clear and then we have prevent waste the corporations will try their best to prevent those wastage that have harmful effect on the environment like wastage of chemicals so the corporation need to pay attention on that means ګوره داسې organization داسې company شته چې هغوی mostly production چې کوم دی صحیح شو هغو کې chemicals involved دي these chemicals definitely will clear drawn into the waters these will be observed into the waters like lakes is it like for example dina ilawa چې کوم oceans دي صحیح شو دina ilawa rivers دي صحیح شو they are contaminated and the water become contaminated نو دا کم چې chemicals اوبو کې رچي صحیح شو دina چې کوم اوبو وي for example کوو کې سا کې اټوله ګنده شي نو that is the responsibility of the organization company چې company کله هم خپل دا waste چې کوم ګنده مواد دي فضله چې کوم ورته وایو دا چې کله for example excrete کوي so they must have to take some steps that how to prevent the waste or how for example this stuff to come environment the external environment it shouldn't be disturbed so must take some strategies to prevent their wastages next we have communities or we have societies अब community and society protection څنګه کېدی شي ګوره if you remember we discussed the theory of relativism که تاسو ته یادي remember theory of relativism students I told you that nothing is absolute everything is relative ګوره suppose لکه زه وایم God is one अब ګوره مسلم سوسایټي چې کوم هم ده که پاکستان ده افغانستان ده انډیا کې مسلم دي بنگلادیش کې مسلم دي صحیح شوه God is one that is an absolute thing دا ټولو دپاره یو رقم دی صحیح شوه چې پاکستان کې څومره مسلمانان دي صحیح شوه هغه هم بلیف کوي چې God is one افغانستان کې څومره مسلمانان دي انډیا کې څومره مسلمانان دي بنگلادیش کې وات ایور د مسلم کمیونټي وی هیو is it all believe that God is one अब the God is one it is an absolute it is everywhere equal صحیح شوه theory of relativism څه وایي theory of relativism یا relativist theory صحیح شوه دا وایي چې ګوره countries societies these are different from one another every society every country that is different if something is happening in one society might be the same thing will not be good in another society صحیح شوه like for example اوس ګوره take the example of Muslim community अब Muslim community کې polygamy ده polygamy مطلب سمپلی دا دی چې یو میل چې کوم دی هغه دوه ښځې یا درې ښځې یا څلور ښځې کولی شي دې ته polygamy وایي مطلب one individual one male صحیح شوه he will have clear let's suppose the 4 females in nikah شرعي چې کوم کانسیپټ دی دې ته polygamy وایي अब هندو سوسایټي کې صحیح شوه that is not acceptable حالانکه هلته یو بل رسم دی هغې ته مونږ انډریګیمي وایو د دې الټا ده پولیګیمي مطلب چې هلته یو ښځه چې کوم ده هغه درې خاوندان ایټ ا ټایم کولی شي چاینا چې کوم ده تبت وغیره علاقې دي موسټلی هلته هم دا کانسیپټ دی اب اټ مینس دس ریلیټیویزم تھیوري دا وایي چې سوسایټیز آر ډفرنٹ فرام ون اندر their rules their laws are different from one another so whenever an organization یا یو کمپنی چې کله هم بزنس کوي صحیح شوه چې کومه هم سوسایټي کا so they must clear read out the norms of that society they must follow the rules of that society now up to secure corporate responsibility toward community is what that number A respect laws, rights, and value of the people culture. The corporation respect the law, the rights, and values of the people and their culture. Means they will follow all the rules and regulations of the country where they are operating. Like suppose I would like to give an example. Take the example of Iran. सही हुआ अब ईरान से दे ईरान की मोस्टली द कम च पिक्टोरियल मैगजीन सी फैशन मैगजीन च वर्त वायु द मॉडलिंग वगैरह को च कम कई इज इट नो द पिक्टोरियल फैशन मैगजीन च कम दी द मोस्टली बैन दी अब फॉर एग्जांपल any of the advertisement company which is operating its business in Iran. No, Iran ke ab law de, it's a law in Iran that pictorial magazines regarding especially for the female that is totally banned. No matlab aga pa pictorial magazine mane jaride mane tajula female ho picture nashi laga wala that is totally banned. Ab advertisement company that is operating clear in Iran, they must have to focus, they must have to follow the law. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Sahi shwa dina ilawa hundreds of examples thi sahi shwa we can when in Rome do as Romans do sahi shwa. So same is the case whenever the corporation they are in any of the culture, they must have to follow the norms of that culture. अब जब तक यो बल example dar kama it will make your idea more clear that we have some yo already we discussed kari de we have some laws prescribed by the government, is it? We have some rights prescribed by a system and we have some values, we have some norms, is it? Norms se already mata explain kari hum di we have some moral standards generated by the society, or yes, society expects something good from you, that is simply known as norms. Now take the example of British community and take the example of Saudi Arabia community. Let's suppose British chikam de altache business operation I'm talking about, so in the business environment I'm talking about chikala business environment ke matlab two individuals when they talk together, so in between clear these two individuals you must have to keep a distance of around about 18 inches. Matlab chikala two individuals within a business setup they are interacting, no in between the kam cha fasala da saishwa da 18 inches wide chui. Lekin when we are talking about the Saudi Arabia community, ab Saudi Arabia community ke Saudi Arabia community ke the distance chikam de that is very much closed. If let's suppose you are standing in Saudi Arabia and you have a let's suppose huge distance between two individuals during interaction, no that way Saudi Arabia khalak way the person is a very proudy person, dik dir zyada ghurur de zaka da der interaction ke fasila sati, लेकिन उसका दा फासला सासो ब्रिटिश की उनसा थे नो दा खलक वही ब्रिटिश सोसाइटी दा गुमान कई सचुरा दे बेसिकली एक्सपेक्ट दैट द पर्सन इज लेट्स सपोज इलिटरेट या फॉर एग्जांपल दा कस्ट कम दे दा दे मतलब दा कस्ट कम दे इररिस्पेक्ट हो दे रिस्पेक्ट नष्टा अब पूरा द सेम थिंग सचुरा दैट इज टेकन इन वन एंगल फ्रॉम वन एस्पेक्ट क्लियर इन वन सोसाइटी एंड द सेम थिंग इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल इन अनदर सोसाइटी. अब टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ एबॉर्शन. अब एबॉर्शन इज क्लियर हराम इन द मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी, बट abortion is totally legal in the for example Japan sexual age government properly prescribed kare de sexual we have a proper like sanga che mung de dermal tun de kana sexual ta so the pharmacy chi varta vayu al the proper pharmacy wala ta registration your authority letter work wal shwe de sexual che you can definitely do the abortion. Again reason da che abortion is considered as a technique, as a tool that how to control the population, so it means abortion is valid considered clear in Japan, but it is not valid consideration clear in your society Muslim community. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. No usdaka dawi chugura respect the laws, rights and values of the culture in which you are operating. Biachre they are responsible about the rights and values of the people. They are also responsible to know about the culture of that community where they are operating, because culture also affect their businesses. Da concept mata asla waqta explain gura I forgot the country name, लेकिन बिया बज़ तासुल example clear कमा कि देशी का तासुल अख़पला ज़हन की राशि नो तासुल अख़पला आगे सर लिंक कई वरा लका ज़मून च कम एशियन countries दी कना दलता मतलब we मूंग चाहता वही उकना च नहा बजे राशि organization था सही हुआ नो नहा बजे means that round about नहा बजे सही कोशिश खुदा कहूँ च नहा बजे मूंग राशु है ना, लेकिन ये country दासे दे च अल्ता for example when you are giving time for example 9 o'clock to someone that you must have to present at 9 o'clock. अब exactly 9 o'clock रातलन सही हुआ अगुई दे पारा दासे दे दा अगुई दे पारा च दे दा डेर irrespect हो दे, is it? No अगुई हाथ मन च कम दे आगा वो 9:30 या 9:45 या 10 मन बरसी, especially I'm talking about in informal events सही हुआ लगा शादी बया वगैरह वादु मादा के छोकरा वाड़ी गेस्ट सही हुआ नो आगा मोस्टली च कम दे लेट रहती बोले अल्ता ट्रेंड दे वो लेट बोली रची it has a reason. The people have a belief that whatever if time na pehla rale या on time rale so that will show that you are totally free person. Nastasara the car kawano for example tishtana zaka hui late rachi. Ab that is the culture. Da alta your culture jod de. So whatever you are operating with, for example in any of the culture you must have to follow the norms, the rules of that culture. Zaka da way culture chede that is their effect kai. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Second day under community ke support and promote economic, social, health and human development. This is also the duty and responsibility of a corporation that their activities support and promote the economy of that community where they are operating.